Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to week 3 in the Reddit League. Today we have a matchup between rmgg92, or better known as Geography Challenges, and Costar, better known as Simi, in Division 1. So how are you doing today, Calamity?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing okay. I'm looking forward to this very interesting match between these two. As you can see, rmgg92 currently sitting in first place with Costar in 5th. But if you look at their stats, you might think it would be the other way around. Isn't that right, Calamity?
Yeah, Costar had two very good games so far in North Macedonia and in Brazil. He might even have the highest overall score. I'm not entirely sure between him and Raidman Mucha. He's also had 3 aces in there compared to Geography Challenges 0. So it's going to be an interesting game to see how that plays into a world map that we're going to be playing this week.
Yeah, Costar putting up some really good numbers, but unfortunately going up against probably the toughest opponents in the league in this first 2 weeks, while RMG has kind of skated by a little bit in his first 2 games with his points. So you can see RMG has won his first 2, while Costar unfortunately had to draw his first one. I think that was the highest scoring game in round 1, but they both had each other, so they ended up drawing, which is kind of funny. But let's take a look at the map they will be facing off on. It is a rural world, our first world map in the league so far. It's created by Topotic with an average score of 10,871 points. It's been played over 10,000 times and has over 20,000 locations. What's really interesting to point out on this map is that it is designed for non-moving games. So there are some broken coverage locations and interesting trekker places as well in the map. So not exactly always designed to make it easy to find out where you are. What do you think about this map and how these two might end up at the end of the match, Calamity?
Yeah, if for those of you who played in Season 1 or followed along with it, you may be familiar with a remote world, which is a map that's quite similar to this one, just, slightly more remote. A rural world will have quite a lot of remote places, I guess, but they don't have to be very far away from civilization. You'll probably find some mountain roads, some fields. It can be a tough map, but it can also be quite easy. The locations sort of vary between very easy and very hard. One good thing for Geography Challenges is that probably his lack of aces so far won't really be very important in this one, since usually if you're close enough, you'll get enough points.
Yeah, this global map is the most generous by far of the maps that they've played so far in terms of how far you can be away from the actual location and still get a very nice score of over 4,900. So without further ado, let us jump in and to this matchup. Right off the start, we're looking like some Scandinavian forest, and the players head off in opposite directions to start. So it'll be very interesting to see who finds what.
So. Very, very few points you could look at there to decide which direction to go. Simi's chosen the correct one, and he's found some good signs.
Quite lucky. Lots of city names. Should give him a good clue.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure at this point he knows exactly where he is. He should at least. Östersund is a pretty big city in Sweden. And with there we go. Being 30 kilometers away from it, pretty easy to find. And he's got the right place.
Yeah, so he'll be trying to get that ace only about a minute in. He's already pretty narrowed down. GC, though, finding some town names of his own. But he also has Östersund. So
yeah, he's found the important one.
He's on the wrong side of the city for now.
Yeah. I think he's got one more town sign behind him. I'm not quite sure. We'll see if he turns around. Yep. There we go. Okay, it's just
Yeah.
more of the same.
Yeah. And that 1 kilometer away from that city is very helpful. So
Yeah,
small numbers help you find it.
he'd
You don't really
probably
have to worry about judging how far away it is.
he'd probably rather see the other sign that pointed Simi 20 kilometers away from Stogun. That would probably help him more right now. But I think he's got Mitskog on his map right now. He's
He
just
doesn't
not seen
quite
it
see it.
yet.
Yeah. So with about a minute left, it'll be down to who can spot it on the map. It's always a little bit rough to watch them stare at it and not quite catch it. Still, oh, there he goes. He's got it. Nothing to worry about.
Yeah, so nothing separating the two for the first round. Maybe 1 point. We'll see.
Yeah, it'll probably be single digits, if anything. But maybe we can see GC pick up his first ace of the league. He has none coming into today. Oh, and sure enough, really quickly, Simi will get 5,000 points. He'll get an ace, his 4th overall. I'm guessing a little bit early. Caught me by surprise. But nothing to worry about there.
Yeah, GC has now made it to the same signs that Simi found earlier as well. Not that they're helping him a lot now that he already knows where he is, but he can use them to judge.
He will get an ace as well. Very nice. So a battle of the aces to start off this game. Both players picking up 5,000 points. So just as you said, Calamity, nothing separating those two.
Well, 1 meter.
So. Well, I guess we could go down to meters, but in terms of points, nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty much not a bad location for a rural map, right? Town signs pretty close by the starting position.
Doesn't really get much easier, especially if you go south as Simi did. You could see a bit more challenging for geography challenges, having to find a smaller city or town on the map, but still, it's probably going to get harder from here on.
Okay, so let us get into round number 2 and see if it will indeed be more difficult for them.
Yes, is the answer to that question.
Yes, it seems so. Looks like we're still in Europe.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Definitely in Europe. In a bit of a warmer climate.
Probably further south. More Mediterranean. Had to make a guess. Southern France or Spain. See if they can see any signs.
Simi can't really see much at all right now in the darkness, but I don't know what the Google card did there. Maybe some of it recorded at a different time.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see the weather and time changes as you jump from one coverage to another at times. So
Simi's found some signs.
Simi's found a sign with those French province numbers, I believe.
Well, departmental roads, I think that's what the D stands for.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're the smallest though, right?
Yes. They're very small. There's some smaller roads, probably, those who have an actual name instead of a number. But yeah, of the numbered roads, I think they're the smallest entity.
So about a minute and a half.
Geography Challenger still trying to make his way through the fields.
Yeah, he's having a bit of difficulty navigating that, which has cost him some information compared to Simi so far, but we still have about another minute left in the round.
I think
Simi now checking out that darker side of the road.
I think there might have actually been a phone code on the sign Simi looked at earlier, but I don't know if he noticed it. I couldn't quite read the first 2 digits, so I couldn't tell you for sure, but there was definitely a phone number on it.
GC has seen some French, while Simi has moved into a village. Yeah, on a world map, it's a lot harder to practice phone numbers because you can't possibly memorize the entire world in a week. But if they have some pre-existing knowledge of France, it might
Mm,
help. And GC seeing some good signs zooming in. He knows he is in the south of France. He'll be looking for that D29. What does that red line across that sign mean, Calamity?
means you're exiting the city.
Okay. Oh, and Simi will guess a little bit ahead of time again. Seems to like to be just a second or two faster than the timer. 4,603 points for him.
GC's time is at 0.
And his internet is lagging out.
Yep. As long as he's placed his marker, it normally shouldn't be a
He
problem. There we
has,
go.
and he will get 4,646, so a 43-point advantage over Simi in this round. Yeah. Not much more they could have done with that information, Calamity.
Yeah, I don't know if either of them really saw anything. As I've said, that phone code potentially for Simi earlier, I didn't really see anything on GC's screen that would have told me more than, well, we're in France and probably he used the climate to go further south. Yeah, no, you could probably get more information going a different way, but with the information they had, they pretty much just did the best they could, I think.
Yeah, always, if you had more time, you could do more map scouring, trying to find that road number. But with only 3 minutes to play, I think they did a very good job with that round.
Yeah, trying to find the road number in that case wouldn't help you really, since you probably are aware, but for the viewers, the department roads in France are, as the name says, roads for the departments, meaning since France has, I think, about 100 different departments, they repeat throughout those departments. So finding a D29 road isn't going to help you out much unless you find the corresponding towns along the same road.
Yeah, indeed. But I mean, the climate was enough, I think, in that round to know they were in the south of France, along with a few small town names. So I think in that location, maybe they could have done it with more time, but always hindsight 2020 and more time and whatnot.
Yeah,
But
they could, but they didn't.
yeah, they could, of course. Okay, well, let's get into round number 3. And we seem to be in Asia.
Definitely not in Europe anymore.
Definitely not in Europe. Yeah. Simi trying to check out the Google car for a split second there.
Didn't really show him much, did it?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's all blurred out. Some countries, it doesn't completely blur out the car, which can give you a little bit of extra information. But actually, no, we're not in Asia. It looks like South America,
Yeah,
Ecuador.
I mean, there was a big sign with Ecuador there, so yeah.
Well, I just saw some jungly road with no signs, and
They can
somewhere
be.
South Asia or
Can be quite difficult to tell apart just based on like mountainous roads like this.
yes, but we have seen some Spanish as well as a big sign with Ecuador, so they both should know, and they both are heading.
I mean, you say both. It was,
Somewhat opposite
it was
direction.
only GC who found that sign.
I believe Simi has seen Spanish though.
Yeah, he's seen Spanish, sure. But there's
I remember this. I remember like this nightclub in the middle of nowhere. That was quite an interesting find. But plenty of Spanish, and that's about it.
There's still a couple
I
of
believe
countries that have Spanish as their language, so
Yeah. If my memory isn't failing me, I believe if you head far enough on one of these, you do see a country flag. And I believe Simi is headed in the right direction.
yeah, I think so as well. I remember a sign, like a road construction sign that had something that told me it was Ecuador on it.
Geography challenges, though, heading in the other direction. But they both should have the country. Yeah, there you go. There's a pretty good road construction sign.
Yeah, and it's the Ecuador flag. Actually, the thing is, the flag you can see on the bottom right there is the Colombian flag. And that's why Simi's zooming into Colombia. I'm not sure. I think the thing that's blurred out on the bottom left might tell him it's Ecuador.
Yeah, so I believe we are close to
Oh,
that border. That's why
uh,
some of the flags are a little.
if you look very closely, I think the furthest bottom right word that's written in red on Simi's screen, I think says Ecuador.
But he's still looking with 9 seconds left. He is still looking in Colombia, while GC is looking in Ecuador. He has a much better sign, and he has a map.
That helps.
Oh, and unfortunately, there goes the timer, and that will. It's a little unfortunate for Simi there. 3,372. A little bit distracted by that flag on the sign. But GC doing pretty well with his information. Actually written country name, not getting distracted. 4,808 points for him. Yeah, so a little bit kind of misleading there on those signs, Calamity.
Yeah, I think Simi just didn't read the text that was written on the sign carefully enough. He just saw the flag and tunnel visioned into that, trying to then maybe find some of the town names that were written on the sign as well. And that cost him.
Yeah, I believe I made the same mistake. I saw two flags and I was like, wait a minute, which one are we in? But yeah, I didn't think I saw those signs. It said Ecuador written on them, but I think I went further south like Simi did. But appears that north was the right way to go for that one. Much better signs. And as we get into round number 4, get my timestamps correct. We'll take a look at the overall scores going into this penultimate round. Here we go. Simi sitting at 12,975 with GC at 14,454. A difference of something I will let Calamity do.
1,400, I think 79.
Okay, not bad. It's a doable, especially in a rural map. And they have already seen some French in Africa. So that should be a pretty big hint to where they are.
Yeah, leaves only Senegal. And these kind of road stones that GC is looking at are also typical for Senegal. And it probably says N1 since he went for that road. I can't read it with the way
it's too
looks,
small.
But
those signs are often very hard to read, but yeah, the shape and coloring are beneficial. And there was a small village exit sign that Simi saw, but probably not worth looking for on the map.
Yeah,
Another village sign.
If you're at the point where GC is currently, where he knows the road, it might be worth it to look for those small towns. I know, however, that some of them just aren't on the map. When I played this round, I found one of those and didn't find it anywhere on the N1.
Oh, he has it on his map, actually. He hasn't seen that name, but Simi did. That Pite. That was right there. He's very close as it is, but I don't think he's seen that bit of information. That's something Simi has on him. But Simi now seeing the Senegalese flag.
If it wasn't abundantly clear to him already.
Yeah, he knows where he is. And that way station should help him out at knowing he is on a major road. You probably don't see those on smaller roads.
I think it also said a city name on it.
Yeah, he's seen a few city names, so see if he, with about 45 seconds left, if he can do anything with that. Now, this is the sign that GC is looking at that threw me off when I was practicing on this map, was there's some Arabic script. And I wasn't exactly sure how much Arabic script there was in Senegal, but apparently on some small signs there are.
Yeah, so. Don't think there's a lot, but there's a couple of countries that have sort of a mixture between French and Arabic, like Tunisia, for example, does as well.
Yeah, so Made me second guess myself for a little bit. 5 seconds left. Simi down to 2 seconds. He is very close. And as we can show, unfortunately, Schmingo, our league manager, 0 points just to get into the seeds, making the map zoom out very, very far. But Simi with 4,985, but not really going to make up any points on GC with his 4,996. So unfortunately, not going to make up ground, loses a few points there. Yeah, so again, another rural location, Calamity, but not too sparse on information.
Yeah, Senegal is always Senegal is the wrong country if you want to make up big points. It's not very big and very distinctive, so you wouldn't really expect anyone to miss out big time there. They both found the right location pretty much. Simi within the last couple of seconds. I'm not actually perfectly sure what he found. It might have been the city on that guard station.
Yeah, I believe so. He found the larger city, knew he was east of that, and dropped his marker with only a few seconds left, not quite having the time to pinpoint beyond that. But still good enough for 4,985 points.
Mm-hmm.
So going into our final round, it is GC's game to lose, showing why he is currently first in Division 1. This one looks more like an Asian location. GC believing it to be Sri Lanka. And sure enough,
yep,
with the sign and the bus that Simi has seen, it is indeed Sri Lanka.
Couldn't really get much clearer than that.
Yeah.
The problem now is I don't think you can be far enough away in Sri Lanka to lose as many points as Simi would need GC to lose.
Yeah, if you're on the island, I don't think you can lose more than maybe 1,500 or so. And he's definitely further than that behind. So,
I mean, he's 1,400.
Exactly 15.
He's 1,490 behind. So
yeah. Oh, come on! I was eyeballing that, and I was like, yeah, he can't lose more than 1,500, and he's more than none. Not a bad guess.
Yeah, I think it's not even 1,500. I think you're looking at about 1,000 points that you can lose on Sri Lanka. And that's pretty much if the location is on one end of the island and you guess the other one. Yeah, if it's somewhat in the middle, you've got GC even less to lose.
Has seen a few names, a North Punduloa, maybe. Oh, he's found Punduluya. So it looks like he is not going to lose very many points. He's found at least the general region he is in with that city name. Very good find.
I'm surprised he found that so easily.
Yeah, maybe a bit of luck for him in his final round. Not that he really needed it, but it's always nice.
A bit more can never hurt.
Yeah. Simi, I think, however, has not found quite as nice a sign as that. Chasing a few of these blue rickshaws around the mountains.
He's got, I think he's coming up to some
be a very
signs.
Good sign. Oh, there you go. He has the city name, and that police station will be very beneficial. He'll know he is in Sri Lanka. About 25 seconds left. So I think pretty much he's on damage control here. Calamity looking to just not lose any more points.
Is that the right city on his screen right in the middle there at the top now? I think it is. He's not seen it. Scrolled past it.
He's not seen it with 5 seconds left. And GC trying to do a little bit of pinpointing, but not. Oh, he will pick up his second ace of the map, with Simi getting only 4,898. So GC, with no aces coming into today, gets 2 in his first in the world map and claims a victory against Simi. Very nice. He'll keep his top spot probably in Division 1 with that. Yeah, so what exactly happened there for Simi. Very close until I believe that third round, pretty much. Is that right,
Yeah,
Calamity?
it was the Ecuador round that he guessed in Colombia. Before I talk a bit about that, I'd like to quickly address a question to GC and Simi because I'm not quite sure whether it's just that that area of Sri Lanka looks so specific or whether they just both automatically assumed they were near the middle and started looking there because both of them didn't really have a big search radius. Like GC found it pretty much immediately, and Simi also went towards Kandy and then looked around like maybe a few kilometers around there, which is the right location. And I don't really know why.
Yeah, they had a few city names, but unless you have some pre-existing knowledge, it's kind of hard to believe they could just spot them on the map that fast.
Mm,
Maybe something about the mountain road or something is kind of unique to that middle area of
yeah,
Sri Lanka.
possibly. Considering it's an island that's not too big, you could probably assume that the more mountainous regions are in the middle of it. But
Yeah, but
yeah, it'd be interesting to hear if they've got any other reasoning for that.
yeah, so Simi GC, drop a comment in the video below. Let us know exactly what you saw there in that final round to help you pinpoint that. As we look at those final numbers, let me bring up a little bit larger screen to help you see that. Uh, Simi with a total of 22,858, while CG 24,450 points. Another decisive victory for GC, doing quite well for himself in Division One.
Mm,
And Simi off to a little bit of a rough start, kind of a collector's start, one of each, a win, draw, and a loss in the first three games for him. So, yeah,
yeah.
Calamity, who will these two be facing next week in
Uh,
Kazakhstan? No, not Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan. Sorry,
Kyrgyzstan, yeah.
the
Uh,
other Stan.
GC will be playing against Chicago Geographer, and Simi will be playing against Kompilu.
So maybe a good chance for Simi there to pick up a win. Comp Bilu has been struggling in Division One so far, but definitely a good challenge for GC, I believe, though.
Yeah, both Chicago and Kompilu are further down the table at the moment, and they'll both be trying to change that, I would assume. So yeah, it'll be interesting. Kyrgyzstan is a map that requires a lot of practice, but you can also make up for a bit of skill with that practice.
Okay, so very interesting to see how these players perform next week. Thank you all for watching another matchup in the GeoGuessr Reddit League. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe to the channel. Plenty more videos to come. We're not even halfway through the league so far. And please check out the league on Reddit as well, /GeoGuessr. And we'll see you all next time. Take care.
Bye.